What is up everybody, it's your boy ThrillerXero back over here with a new video today, and today is a bit of a more review video as one of my recent kaijus in the game that I've gotten from grinding, and it's said to be one of the most strongest in the game, and it's got to be Godzilla Ultima himself, who is from the Godzilla Singular Point anime and is said to be the most powerful being in existence. And Ultima himself in this game has a really broken status with his health and damage points, and to get him you must need a level 75 Jet Jaguar beta and 500k G cells to get him, which isn't that bad because you can grind for this monster first before getting either Monster Zero aka Titanus Ghidorah and Destroy, which they cost a more higher price and requirements. And today it's going to be a review video on this fighter and how good is it, as most of the community says he's one of the strongest of them all. So just before we can get into today's video, a major 87% of you guys that are watching this video aren't subscribed yet, and so if you are new here, make sure you smash that subscribe button with the notification bells turned on so you won't miss an episode from me. And could we reach 1k subscribers before the end of the year? And now let's dive into today's video. Now, how good is Ultima? Also forgot to add that I'll be doing a video on how to use Godzilla Ultima in PvP in the future since I almost have it at max level. So anyways, back to the video. I plan to get Ultima after maxing out Mega Godzilla 21 and achieving Monster Zero first, because I mostly spent those times maxing out other fighters that I recently got before getting the next big one. Also forgot to mention I don't have Monster Zero maxed out because he's at level 40 at the moment. And that's how I reached out to getting Ultima, as I received all of my G cells from mostly presents from the 2021 Christmas event, in which I have over 1 million G cells at the moment. Ultima seems to be broken as of hurt, as he can take on other endgame kaijus like what I've mentioned before. Ultima does indeed have a high amount of damage and health points to begin with, but he is relatively slow, which makes him like the heaviest and the strongest tank in the game, which is why I had 4 speed points just to make it speed balanced and keep up with other kaijus. He has 3 melee attacks to begin with, as many of them look like they've been named in Spanish, so I'm gonna name them in my own words. The claw attack or the bite is a short range melee attack that deals massive damage, so I mostly use it when I'm up close, and it has other 2 longer melee range attacks that deal more damage. The tail whip easily cleaves the area in front of your view, dealing greater damage than your claw swipe, as it also ranges other kaijus from a faraway distance, even the Nutcracker for example. The third attack can deal more double damage if used up close, and is called the Ultima Stomp, where it creates a shockwave upon usage after the stomp, and when used up close, it can either deal more damages than twice the damages from the shockwave, or both damages from the stomp and the shockwave at the same time, as very useful in terms of combat, as it combines both powers of the third attack. And I guess the ranges with the second tail whip attack are close to each other's range. Now we move on to his atomic breath attack, as the first one you have access to has to be the most longest breath in the game, which also deals the most highest max damage, even though it deals less damage drain per second, and I mostly use it when my foe is up or away from me. The second short range attack, which deals the most damage of them all, is a single hit attack with over 1k in damage, which is a much quicker version of the atomic breath, and it's the best at low range because it can blast your opponents away with a great amount of damage dealt, even at flyers too when they're low next to you. But you can only have access to the second atomic breath attack when your red mist bar is active, and to have the red mist bar active you can either use melee attacks or use the R roar key. And I don't really use the archetype gland bar in PvP, even though it produces a cloud that damages other monsters around itself, similar to Monster Zero's Alpha Call Storm ability, because it consumes a lot of energy, so I prefer not using it. And Ultima can be very useful in PvP, as he can take on most other kaijus in the game, and when it almost stands up against Monster Zero and Destororah, since I've beaten them a couple of times with my Ultima before. However, it's not really recommended against runners because it's so damn slow as fuck, and it can easily lose to teamers, because the more people they have, the more they'll get stronger together, and it can get really annoying for yourself facing a lot of teamers, because we all hate those types of players in Kaiju Universe, which is one disadvantage for Ultima. So when building him in your status, try adding like 4 or more speed points to try to catch up with most runners, because that will make the speed more balanced. And so now, time for the final conclusion. I say Ultima is one of the greatest fighters in the game, despite being as low as tank, as he can duke out most of the other cast members in the game. And yes, it's worth grinding for with him, because you can get high health and damage, and it's mostly used for skilled players like myself, especially at max, which makes him the most powerful. So anyways guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like on it, punch that subscribe button with the notification bells turned on, join my Discord server and follow me on Twitter, and see you guys on the next video. Ciao.